Ahead on Q2, seasonal stress.
The holidays just add a layer of pressure to do everything, to be perfect.
Between holiday parties, work, and finding time to shop, this season of giving can be hard on the heart. Plus, raising up first responders.
We will continue to do fundraisers until we can get the amount that we need to purchase that ambulance.
The Laurel community coming together in hopes of purchasing a new ambulance. And an end to the war. Russia and Ukraine may be close to a peace deal. We'll have the latest. The MTN 4:30 news starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. It's a real thing this time of year, holiday heart syndrome. Thanksgiving is the start of the trifecta of stressors on the heart: alcohol, salty, rich foods, and stress. Tonight, our Will Wagner has ways to identify it and ease it.
Whether it's getting that right gift or just dealing with the in-laws, it's no secret the holidays can be stressful.
The holidays just add a layer of pressure to do everything, to be perfect, to prepare the perfect meal that you bring to the holiday dinner. Do you expect people to be perfect? The answer is no.
Mental health therapist David Eichler says much of the stress between Thanksgiving and New Year's comes from three sources: money, time, and energy. And he's got some ideas on how to cope. As for energy, he says taking steps to separate busyness from stress, as well as spreading out responsibilities, can be helpful.
I could have 12 things that I need to accomplish between now and Christmas Day. Well, that doesn't mean I'm stressed. That means I'm busy. And a lot of people skip past busy and go straight to stress because everybody around them is talking about how stressed they are. And that's not the best thing you can do for yourself.
That second big stressor is money. Eichler says being present and thoughtful is more important than shelling out cash for a big gift.
You can't go anywhere 3 weeks before Thanksgiving now without starting to hear Christmas jingles and being reminded you need to spend money, you need to spend money, you need to follow the rules of consumerism.
Finally, time may be hard to find as the days count down. Whether it's groceries or gift shopping, Eichler says doing it online may be worth it in the long run.
You are worried about your energy, then you can shop online. And somebody might say, oh, well, that's not the same as shopping in person. And it's like, well, that's kind of true. But if you're worried about your time and your energy, you're choosing to be stressed by doing that.
We bumped into some shoppers at the plaza on Grand and 13th. Those we spoke to say they are not very stressed and emphasized focusing on family first.
What do I look forward to is being together with the family. That's all. Happiness and health.
The gifts aren't the big thing for me. I keep telling them I don't need anything. I just want to see you.
In Billings, Will Wagner, MTN News.
And this year, it'll cost you less to put together your Thanksgiving meal. According to Montana Farm Bureau, Americans will spend about $5.52 per person, down from 5% last year on their Thanksgiving meal. The centerpiece, the turkey, it's 16% cheaper. Dinner rolls are down 15% and stuffing costs you 9% less than it did last year. But avoid the veggie tray, officials say. Store-made trays are up 61% and sweet potatoes have jumped 37%. Overall, Thanksgiving costs fell 3 straight years after hitting a record high in 2022. Tonight, word of another crash at the now notorious intersection in the Billings Heights, the same crossing where neighbors have been begging for safety upgrades. The Montana Highway Patrol says a chain reaction crash happened Saturday at Bitterroot Drive and Mary Street after the driver of a Dodge Ram blew through a stop sign. The pickup hit a Ford heading west on Mary, pushing it into a Kia. This comes just days after a report on growing concerns at this intersection. The city recently added those safety flags that you see there and a stop ahead sign while MDT continues a traffic study that's expected pretty soon. Neighbors hope this renewed focus will finally prevent another serious crash. Laurel Emergency Services is closer to getting a badly needed new ambulance, a purchase that can top $350,000. Thanks to the community, though, that price tag is getting a little easier to handle. Our Hannah Pettiferi shows us how.
Laurel Emergency Medical Services has 3 ambulances right now, but one has definitely seen better days dating back to 1999.
It's really tough to make sure we get to all the calls we need to get to if we don't have a good, safe, reliable ambulance.
After getting word that Laurel is raising money to buy a new ambulance, the community stepped up.
The community is just getting around and rallying for the ambulance, and we're super excited to help with that.
One group donating, the Jersey Mike's franchise. John Bragner, the franchisee, says it's needed.
For a small city with a small tax base, it's hard to come up with that money. And so we need ambulances, we need medical services for our residents, and as we're growing.
They raised several $1,000s. Another group, the Iron Warriors Motorcycle Club, also raised some money.
We donated $5,000 to help purchase the new ambulance.
Rob Lem, the president, says it's because they support their fellow folks in the field.
We do it because we are all law enforcement and firefighters, some active, some retired, and it's just to help the community and help out who we consider brothers and sisters in our fields.
For having two ambulances that are nearly 20 years old, Laurel EMS Chief Lindy Gerchek says they need a new one. But that new ambulance can cost upwards of $350,000.
They have huge mechanical issues. We're having a hard time keeping them running. They break down often. It's very expensive and hard to find parts for them at this point.
Lindy says that they average 3 calls a day, and having a reliable ambulance is key.
We want to be able to get them from Laurel to the hospital safely and quickly when needed. We want to keep our crews safe.
And the new ambulance.
The one that we want to get is a 4-wheel drive ambulance. Again, brand new ambulance will help us get people to the hospital quickly, safely, efficiently, and hopefully help us save money in the long run where we're not trying to piece together parts to keep these old ones running.
In Laurel, Hannah Pettiferry, MTN News.
Let's talk holiday travel. We'll have areas of western Montana tonight heading into tomorrow. Not a lot of snow, but 1 to 3 inches in the mountain passes. Be aware if you're going to be traveling there. Then as we start getting to Thanksgiving and beyond, we're going to concentrate a lot on north central Montana, where we could be talking a half foot or more of snow, certainly for the higher elevations. And from the snow that we had from last night, anything in the blue or purple shaded areas, we have snow on the ground. That includes a lot of slick conditions through north central Montana and northeastern Montana first thing this morning, and some of the mountains around us. But notice right around Billings, certainly no snow on the ground yet, but that's going to change in the next few days. We'll break down the forecast details in just a few minutes from now. Hope you stick around.
Russia and Ukraine appear to be edging closer to a possible peace deal. Ukraine says it's reached a common understanding with U.S. negotiators as talks continue with Russia on a revised 28-point proposal from the Trump administration. Erica Brown has the latest tonight from the White House.
Ukraine and Russia traded deadly strikes overnight, killing at least 7 people in Ukraine's capital city and 3 in southern Russia.
In the last month, 25,000 soldiers have died.
It comes as U.S. officials negotiate the terms of a peace deal between the warring countries. President Trump was optimistic about the talks during the White House's annual turkey pardoning ceremony.
I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hopes to meet with President Trump soon to work out what he called sensitive points.
We firmly believe security decisions about Ukraine must include Ukraine, because when something is decided behind the back of the country or its people, there is always a high risk that it simply will not work.
Ukraine's national security advisor said Tuesday that a common understanding has been reached on key terms of the U.S. brokered agreement, while Russia's foreign minister declined to directly comment on the plan.
But I think the big resistance that'll probably come out of the Kremlin will have to do with some of what they always describe as the underlying conditions, which is security guarantees for Ukraine, but some way precluding them from joining the NATO alliance.
In a social media post, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said there are a few delicate but not insurmountable details that must be sorted out and will require further talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the United States. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Americans are gearing up for the Super Bowl of holiday shopping, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A new retail survey finds that more than 80% of people say they'll be making purchases during these shopping events, but the majority of shoppers expect higher prices on holiday goods. Many say that they're keeping their spirits bright and their wallets tight.
Average consumers expected to spend $622, which still sounds like a lot this weekend, but that is down 4% versus last year. I think the bottom line here is people are looking for deals. Bank of America says 90% of people are going to go shop at a discount retailer. Okay, that's a lot, actually. And then 50% would consider giving a dupe, a fake product, to save money.
Consumers looking to get an early start on Black Friday have several options. Online retailers are already rolling out specials, and major brick and mortars are opening early, starting at 5 a.m. Affordability is a key concern right now as the holidays near, and a survey shows the price of groceries is at the top of the list when it comes to price frustrations. New data was released just today as the state of the economy becomes clearer. Mara Barrett has the details.
Key economic data that we've been waiting for was finally released today. A lot of it delayed after the government shut down the survey and the information that we're getting from these reports actually from September. And so not exactly a current snapshot of the economic situation. We'll get more information about that in December. But even so, this has been information that economists, analysts, and the Federal Reserve have been waiting for in terms of getting a look at the economy. I will say there is a direct conflict to what we're seeing in terms of how consumers are feeling when they go to pay their bills, go to the grocery store. We're learning this from new polling out this week, indicating Americans what they're listing as their top affordability concerns. Right at the top of the list, minimal surprise here, but 45% of Americans say that groceries are their biggest stressor when it comes to rising prices. Right behind that is the cost of housing, healthcare, and those rising utility bills. A bulk of Americans saying that they're seeing these prices increase just in the last couple of weeks. There's definitely some confusion about where we stand in the economy. If we take a look at the producer price index, for example, that ticked up 0.3%, which is a bigger jump than the month prior. And this is a key indicator of inflation. It talks about how much companies, businesses are paying to produce goods. If that costs them more, it trickles down to the consumers, which is why we're seeing that feeling of a rise in prices and the weakening consumer confidence. Consumer confidence actually dropped, the biggest decline we've seen since April. Good news, housing sales up about 2%, likely due to a decline in mortgage rates. But over the last year, a New Zillow report that's out this week also found that half of American homes have actually lost value. So that's not great news for people looking to sell. And then curiously, retail sales have continued to go up ever so slightly, but it's the fourth month in a row. So all of this information really important for the Federal Reserve Board to make their decision about a rate cut in the next couple of weeks. They have their December meeting coming up, and there's been a lot of tension publicly with the Board of Governors, some of them leaning towards it, some of them not so excited about the potential of another rate cut. And so it really has spurred more of a public will they or won't they debate come the meeting in December in 2 weeks. Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group.
The Trump administration wants to expand the use of artificial intelligence in federal scientific research. The president signed a new executive order to create what is called the Genesis Mission. The project will let national labs under the Department of Energy use AI in working with tech companies and academics.